Hello everyone. So today we will study the classification of the gymnosperm. So let's start with the first scientist who was the Robert Brown. In 1827. He was the first person who differentiate the gymnosperms from the angiosperm. ठीक है? He differentiate the gymnosperms from the angiosperms on the basis of the presence of the naked ovules. Okay. Then Bentham and Hooker in 1862 he classified he put the gymnosperms in mid of the dicotyledons and the monocotyledons, and further he divided the gymnosperms in three groups. This is the Cycadaceae, Nitaceae and the Coniferaceae. Okay. And then come to the Euler in 1883. He also divided the gymnosperms into four groups, but he put the gymnosperms under the two groups of the phanerogams. Okay, firstly he had given the phanerogams seed producing plants. Then he divided the phanerogams into two: gymnosperms with the naked seeds and the angiosperms with the covered seeds or the flowering plants. Further he divided the gymnosperms into Cadaceae, Chordataceae, Coniferaceae, Nitaceae. Coniferaceae was further divided into Pinoideae, a pinus group, and a Taxoideae, a Taxodium group. Then further, Pinoideae is classified as the Abietinae, Cupressinae. Then Taxoideae is further divided into Taxi and the Podocarpinae. Now come to the work of the Van Tigman in 1898. What the Van Tigman had done, he was very much influenced with the Hofmeister work, who worked on the embryology in 1851. And on the basis of all these studies and the work of the Hofmeister, Van Tigman give the gymnosperm a separate position. He collected various evidences on the basis of their characters, on the basis of their fossil members and all. He removed the position of the gymnosperm from intermediate position. As you see earlier, the Bentham Hooker put the gymnosperm in mid of the dicot and the monocot. So here he removed gymnosperm from that position and give a separate group of the spermatophyta. Okay, form the gymnosperm as a separate group of spermatophyta. And Van Tigman treated the gymnosperm as a subdivision. Okay, and he added three more classes on the basis of their fossil members. Okay, so these are the Pteridospermi and Chordataceae, then Benatitaceae. Now come to the Coulter and the Chamberlain classification. What the Coulter and Chamberlain in 1910 divided the gymnosperm into the 7 orders, and few are in which the few are extant today. Cycadophilicates, okay, Benatitaceae, these are also the extinct group, and we also called it as Cycadiodales. Then Chordataceae, Cycadales, which was originated from the Mesozoic era, and it was present till now in the form of the cycas. Okay, then Gingogoales, it originated found during the Paleozoic era, and it is present today also. And like Jingo biloba, it is also called as the living fossil. Then Coniferales from Paleozoic to present day. The Nitales, the most advanced group of the gymnosperms. Then Jeffrey in 1930, what the Jeffrey did, he divided the gymnosperms into the two classes, that is the Archegymnospermi and the Metagymnospermi. In Archegymnospermi, the spermatozoids are the motile, but in Metagymnospermi, spermatozoids are non-motile. Okay. Further, he divided the Archegymnospermi in 5 orders, that is the Pteridospermi, Cycadiodii, Pteridospermi, Cycadiodii, then Cycadales, in which extinct and living both forms are present, then Chordataceae and Gingogoales. After that, Metagymnospermi, in which the plants possess the simple leaves, fern-like, and the male gametes are non-motile. Okay, he divided it into two groups, that is the Coniferales and the Nitales. Under the Coniferaceae, a very important genera were present over there, like Pinus, Cedrus, Taxus, Podocarpus, Taxodium, and many fossil genera. Order Nitales included all the advanced groups, that is the Ephedra, Netum, Welwitschia, and other fossils one also. Now come to the A.C. Seward classification. A.C. Seward in 1919 divided the gymnosperm in two classes, that is the Manozoic and the Paleozoic, on the basis of the anatomy of the wood. In Manozoic, he put those wood in which the vessels are not present. Okay, Manozoic, in which vessels are present, and that's why they are not compact. Okay, vessels are not present, and they have the well developed pith and cortex. Medullary rays are broad, and he divided it into further three orders: the cycadales, cycadiodales, and cycadophylicales. Then pycnozoic woods, in which the woods is compact, pith cortex are reduced, medullary rays are narrow, and he divided it into four orders: it is the chordatails, ginkgoales, coniferales, and the knee-tails. Now, in Chamberlain in 1934 divided the gymnosperm into the two classes, that is the cycadophytes and the coniferophytes. Cycadophytes were further divided into the orders, three orders, that is the cycadophylicales, from where this is an extinct group, and examples are Lignopteris, then Bennettitales, which is also called as the cycadiodales, and in this example is the cycadiidae, then cycadales. Okay, example is the cycas, microcycus, jamia, and the stangaria. Okay, then the coniferophyta was further divided into coniferophytes were further divided into four: chordatails. Okay, chordatails is also an extant group, and examples of the chordatails are chordates, pites. Okay, chordates, pites, then calyxylon. These all are the examples of the chordatails. Then jingoes. Jingoes is a monotypic order having a single member, that is the jingo biloba, which is called as the living fossils. And some other extent, or also this is a Sphenobaria, then Stephanophyllum. These all are examples. Then come to the coniferales. Coniferales having a 6 families, that is the Abitaceae, whose example is Abies, Pinus, and Citrus. Taxodiaceae, whose example is Sequoia and Taxodium. Cupressaceae, example is Cupressus and the Thusa. Auricaceae, example is the Auricaria. Then Podocarpaceae, example is Podocarpaceae, and then Taxaceae, example is the Taxus. Then Professor Birbal Sahni divided the gymnosperms in two groups on the basis of their presence of the seed, right? On the basis of the position of the presence of the seed. In phylloespermy, the seeds are present into the modified leaves, right? Modified leaves, and Stachyspermy, the seeds are directly present on the stems. So in phylloespermy, he placed the pteridosperms and the Cycadophyta. In Cycadophyta, under Cycadophyta he put the two groups, that is the Cycadales and Bennettitales. Then Stachyspermy, he placed the Coniferophyta under Stachyspermy, right? Phylloespermy, he put the Cycadophylicales, Cycadales, and Bennettitales, and in Stachyspermy he put Chordatails, Coniferales, Ginkgoales, and Taxales. And you can say that drawback of the Sahni is that he didn't place the knee-tails anywhere in the gymnosperm. Then come to the Sahni and the Raizada classification. He put the gymnosperm in. He classified the gymnosperm into the three groups. In two classes, that is the Cycadophyta and Coniferophyta, and Cycadophyta under single order, that is the Pentoxyli. Cycadophyta is further divided into the three orders, that is the Pteridospermales, Cycadiodales, and Cycadales. Coniferophyta was further divided into Chordatails, Jingoales, Coniferales, and the knee-tails. Okay, now Arnold recognized the three classes. This is a gymnosperm divided into further divided into the three classes, that is the Cycadophyta, Coniferophyta, and the Chlamydospermophyta. Then Cycadophyta was further divided into the Cycadales. Then Coniferophyta was further divided into the four orders, that is the Chordatails, Coniferales, Jingoales, and Taxales. Chlamydospermophyta again divided into the two orders, this is the Ephedrales and the knee-tails. Now come to the main classification, which was usually asked in papers, that is the D.D. Pant classification in 1957. He divided the gymnosperms into the three divisions, that is the Cycadophyta, Chlamydospermatophyta, and the Coniferophyta. So he divided this division Cycadophyta. Under Cycadophyta, he put a group with the he put the members with a monozylic wood, right? Unbranched or poorly branched trunks, leaves large and pinnate. And he further divided the Cycadophyta into the four classes, that is the Pteridospermopsida. Okay, that is the Pteridospermopsida. Then Cycadopsida. Then Pentozylopsida, Benetitopsida. Okay. Then the Pteridospermopsida was further divided into the sixth order, that is the Lignopteridales, Medullosales, Glossopteridales, Peltaspermales, Choristospermales, and Cytoneales. Then Cycadopsida was divided into the further in single order, that is the Cycadales. Pentozylopsida is again divided into an order named Pentozylales, and Benetitopsida, which is also called as the Cycadiidopsida, was divided into a single order, that is the Benetitales or Cycadiidales. Then come to the next division, that is the Chlamydospermophyta. In Chlamydospermophyta, he put the peculiar angiosperm like gymnosperms. Those gymnosperms which have a peculiar similarities with the angiosperms, and in this he put put a single class. He divided into single class, that is the Nitopsida, and order two, that is the Netates and Velvetiales. Netates and Velvetiales are the most advanced group of the one of the most advanced group of the gymnosperms, like they have the vessels and all. Then come to the Coniferophyta. In Coniferophyta, we put the plants gymnosperms having the pycnozylic wood, large sized trees with profusely branched stems and simple leaves. He divided the Coniferophyta further into the four classes, that is the Coniferopsida, Ephedropsida, Zygenoischiopsida, then Taxopsida. Coniferopsida was further divided into the three order, that is the Chordatates, Coniferales, and Chincogoales. Ephedropsida was further divided into the Ephedrales, and Zygenoischiopsida was further into the Zygonoischiales, and class Taxopsida was further divided into order Taxales. Okay, now come to the some important features of the classification of plant are. First thing is that Cycadophyta, Chlamydospermophyta, and Coniferophyta were raised to the rank of division. Okay, he gave the very important feature of his classification, that he put the Cycadophyta, Chlamydospermophyta, and the Coniferophyta to the rank of division. Second, a very important character of his classification, he follows the rule of ICBN, that is his classes word ends with Opsida and his order word ends with ales, and his division word ends with Phyta. So all these are the rules of the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So his classification follows the ICBN rule. Then third important feature of his classification is that the third importance of his classification is that the order Glossopteridales, Peltaspermales, Choristospermales, and Cytoneales were included under the class Pteridospermopsida. Okay, Pteridospermopsida, which is completely extinct group, and it covers all the extinct order, that is the Glossopteridales, Peltaspermales, Choristospermales, and Cytoneales. Okay, then the fourth importance of his classification is that he removed the Ephedrales. He removed the Ephedrales from the Chlamydospermatophyta and form a new class, that is the Ephedropsida. Then a new class, that is the fifth importance is that the new class, that is the Zygonoischiopsida with a single order Zygonoischiales was included into the Zygonoschia and its other members. So that's all. Thank you.